Hello, my name is Steven Morrow. I'm the facilitator for the Thinktastic Chapter, which is a thinkers chapter. Previously to being a LoCo facilitator, I owned an environmental services business for about 15 years here in Northern Colorado. I sold the company back in 2020. Prior to that, I worked in a number of corporate and small business environments before deciding to try to have my own company. I was introduced to LoCo by a member of a chapter. That chapter's facilitator was retiring and they needed a new facilitator. And this member knew that I had exited my business and presumed I needed something to do with my free time. I became intrigued by LoCo, just learning about it, and I thought it might be a way for me to give back from some of my experiences as a business owner, as well as my broader business background. And so that began the process of me really learning about LoCo, and ultimately led to me becoming a facilitator for this group. I've seen how they respond to one another, and there's a bit of competitiveness in a good way that I see come out in the members. I've seen members respond to how others are doing in their businesses and perhaps think they need to step it up a little bit with regard to their own businesses. And that's been fun to watch as they work with one another. I think the culture within the chapter it's informal. They're a very close-knit group. They care very much about one another, both professionally and personally. The atmosphere in our meetings is one where they have fun with one another. They give each other a hard time appropriately and professionally, but they also, surprising to me, care very much for one another. There's been times when they both have significant challenges with their business as well as maybe something in their personal life, and those things are often can be intertwined. And the way that they respond and reach out to one another, even outside of a chapter meeting, is something that is special. And I think that's part of my chapter's culture and how they like to treat one another and interact with one another. I certainly think back to when I was a business owner and I didn't know of something like LoCo, and I didn't take advantage of something like that, and I think I missed out on something that's special. As a person now that's semi-retired, if you want to call it that, and not really directly involved in a business, the joy I get is seeing how these owners interact with one another, care for one another, share their expertise, and just generally support one another through the challenges they have trying to operate their businesses. I think first off, you have to be willing to share your valuable time and money, but I really think for business owners of the size companies that are involved, the most precious resource is their time. It's for them to carve out 4 hours once a month to come together was critical. There are moments, by the way, when they come to a meeting and at the beginning of the meeting they were concerned about whether they had the time to commit that day, and they almost decided not to come to the meeting. And at the end of the meeting they say, "I'm so glad that I came. This was so helpful to me to be here for the morning and interact with everybody." But also somebody that's willing to be transparent, share their issues, be vulnerable in doing so, try to share their own expertise to help others solve the challenges that they face in their businesses, and do so in a way that's professional and respectful to them.